President Trump says he's working on new negotiations with Russian President Vladimir Putin to end the war in Ukraine. Our Washington correspondent Rachel Knapp is live from Washington tonight. Rachel, what's the very latest on this?
Good evening, Nick. About an hour ago, the president said that Ukraine will be part of these peace negotiation talks with the U.S. and Russia, as well as some other partner countries. And that's something that our European allies have stressed in all of this, saying if there is going to be any negotiations, everyone should be at the table. Following Russia's release of Pennsylvania teacher Mark Vogel, President Trump spoke to Russian President Vladimir Putin over the phone.
And I think we're on the way to getting peace.
Trump described the call as highly productive, adding they will begin negotiations immediately to end the nearly 3-year war in Ukraine. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky also spoke with the president over the phone following Trump's conversation with Putin. Zelensky said their conversation focused on achieving peace and working together on economic and resource partnerships. But Zelensky later added, as an independent sovereign country, any negotiations must include Ukraine at the negotiating table.
Putin wants peace, and President Zelensky wants peace, and I want peace. I just want to see people stop getting killed.
The negotiations between the U.S. and Russia have rang alarm bells for European allies, saying they all need a seat at the negotiating table. Many are worried the U.S. approach to a potential agreement with Russia could align with more of Russia's goals of how the war should end.
We want, like you, a sovereign and prosperous Ukraine. But we must start by recognizing that returning to Ukraine's pre-2014 borders is an unrealistic objective.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth also reiterated that Ukraine's NATO membership is not part of a realistic peace plan. If added as a member, it could shield Ukraine from future Russian attacks. But the secretary says the president hopes to end the war through diplomatic measures.
The bloodshed must stop, and this war must end.
Nick, NATO's membership to include Ukraine was supported by the Biden administration, so this is a reversal from that stance. But there are some concerns that if Ukraine does become a member of NATO, that if Russia does potentially attack Ukraine, that means that other NATO countries, including the United States, would also be dragged into that fight. Now, one last thing, Nick, the president also said that he plans on meeting Putin in person, potentially somewhere like in Saudi Arabia sometime soon. Nick, back to you.